Hi, I don't even know what day it is. Oh my God. Friday. It's Friday, and I'm about to go to a job interview for a position as a waitress, which is so lit. I'm in my Sookie Stackhouse era, so it's gonna be real cute, real fun, real adorable. But basically I realized I really want my YouTube to have a lot more content, and in order to do that, I have to push through my like introverted shyness, which I'm like the extroverted introvert. Like sometimes I'm like 100% like on the social scene, but then sometimes I'm just like nobody talked to me for like 16 years or whatever the case may be. So I realized that if I'm entering my millionaire era, which I already am, in my content creator era, which I already am, in my boss mom era, which I already am, then I have to actually make a certain level of content. And I'm just like, So anyways, hi, my name is Vanessa. I have an hour before my job interview, or like 55 minutes. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the last 365 years of my life. I'm pushing through this shyness, honestly. So basically, I like had a baby 7 years ago. I had a home birth, and I've been in my single mom era that whole entire time, solo motherhood. And it's been wild. I had a home birth. I had my son in the living room. I'll talk about that another time. That'll be another story time. Super fun. Can't wait to tell you about that. And I decided to just fully devote myself to being there for my son, especially since his dad is not around, and just decided that it would be so important for him to just have a strong maternal presence. So I decided to become like a content creator so that I could monetize my life and fund my life and manifest the lifestyle that I wanted, and just be the kind of mom that I wanted to be for my son by being 24/7 present. So that was really cool of me and kind of iconic, actually. And then like about 3 years ago, my mom decided to sell the family house where we were all living. And despite me begging her not to, she decided it was like in her best interest to sell the house and make some money. And like by God's grace, my name was on the deed. So I got some of the money from the sale of the house. And I took my son on a whirlwind adventure. We were supposed to go to France for the Olympics, but I couldn't get a passport because my son's dad isn't around. So that really pissed me off. And the judge was like, I hope you didn't already buy your ticket to France. And I was like, obviously I did. And obviously I bought my tickets for the closing ceremony. So I had to sell those tickets back. And I think I just lost it. Like I just had to eat the money for the plane tickets. But anyways, traveled around a little bit with my son, and then had to just come to the realization that like it was winter time and we were fully homeless. Terrible. So we ended up like back under my mom's like wing. She decided to like rent a hotel room for us, and then she got a new apartment. We ended up staying with her. And it was not ideal for me because I wanted to be on my own in my millionaire era with my son, not like living with my mom, but I felt like I didn't really have any options because I didn't want to take us to a shelter because I felt like that would be not good. So we went from the hotel into the apartment, which was in its own way a gift and a blessing, but in its own way it came with its own stresses. Like for instance, when we were at the hotel Thanksgiving weekend, I like pulled up with Jammin' 94.5 DJ Pop Dog's Thanksgiving mix on, turned up, and I was like smiling and happy, and my mom straight up called the police on me and locked my son in her room. So DCF like opened a case on me, and it was so stressful, but they shut down the case. But then they opened one again a few months later because I was like sitting in front of a store just like praying, just like I have no money, I'm living with my mom, like what am I gonna do? Like, Jesus be a lamp? Like, show me a way. And basically the police came and DCF came and they're like, we're gonna help you get a house. And I was like, yay, thank you so much. And then they took us into this building and I like walked out of the room to fill up a little cup of water because I was hella thirsty. And then 7 like armed men surrounded me and they were like, we're taking you to the mental hospital. And I was like, can I say goodbye to my son? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. So then they took me to the mental hospital, which, I mean, I knew, like, I read that, like, being homeless in this country was a crime now and people were getting dumped in mental hospitals. But until you experience those kind of things for yourself, is really terrible. And there's a lot that I could say about that. That's another story time. That's cute. So far I have 2 story times. One is about the home birth and one is about inside of Grippy Sock Vacations, aka mental hospitals. Ooh, quick time check. Oh yeah, we're so good. It's literally been 5 minutes. So then basically my mom got temporary guardianship of my son, which was like all my worst nightmares come true. You have to understand. It was so stressful and just like rebuilding my life, you know, was stressful. But then I got my old job back last October, working as a seasonal at Banter by Pearson Toyota, and I was so ecstatic because I was like, oh my god, I'm getting my life back on track. Maybe this seasonal position, you know, will lead to a part-time position where I can come to work and get paid every week, where I can really be doing something for myself and my son. I was working mom hours, so I was working during the daytime while my son was at school. So I was like, it's literally perfect for me. I'm so happy to be here. I was ecstatic. 2 of my coworkers like seemed like they kind of hated me and kind of tried to bully me, but honestly I was like, who cares? Like, people are who they are. Like, I'm not even gonna say anything. Well, this like weird guy came in, like one of the like, I don't know what they like, alt-right guys, and he just started screaming at me. Well, no, like Paris Hilton commented on my video on TikTok. Like, I made a TikTok video about her book, her memoir Paris, and how it was so moving. I can like link all that stuff. And she commented and she was like, icon, mwah. And so I commented back and I was like, oh my god, thank you. And then she commented again. And I like walked into work and I had told one of my coworkers that she had commented because I had worked with her the day previous. And I came into work and I was like, you guys, Paris Hilton commented on my page again. And I don't know, like the energy was so tense. And I went to like get like a pretzel or something. And when I came back, or I think I just even went to use the bathroom, like it was so random. When I came back, these 2 guys were there like so sketchy. And my coworker was helping them out. And he had on like these symbols on his hat and stuff. And I was like, what do those mean? And he started like talking about the United States government. And I was like, do you mean like the Constitution? And he was like, the Second Amendment. And I was like the Constitution? And he was like, the Second Amendment. And I was like, yeah, like from the Constitution, right? And then he just like started freaking out and he was like, if you hate America, you should leave. And like started screaming all these racial epithets at me. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then I got fired. I was like, this is so scary. And I ended up leaving and I got on a bus to go home and I had like a message from my boss and she was like, call me as soon as you get this. And I called her and she was like, since you were a seasonal, the season's almost done anyway, just don't even bother coming back. And honestly, I was devastated because here I was getting hate crimed at work and I lost my job because of it. Mind you, I was still in the schedule for another like 2 months or at least a month and a half. And it really cut me deep, but I didn't have any time to like really think about it or heal from it because I had to get ready for Christmas. So I got ready for Christmas with my son, blah, 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 blah. And then like 2 weeks later, one night I walked into a Cumberland Farms and it was like not my best day. I like had my mom's car. I had to put gas in. I had to like get back home. I had like no gas. And one of my coworkers was there. And I swear to God, I didn't even mean to, but I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me, like out loud. Because I was like, is this a fucking nightmare? Like, what is she doing here? And she's like started going off and saying all this stuff. And it was the same Cumberlands that I had been in front of when I went to the mental hospital. But I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, so I didn't think anything of it. And basically she was just like, we're not gonna serve you. And I was like, ugh. And I like put up both my middle fingers and started walking away. And when I was at the door, she started shouting all this stuff at me. She was like, you're like, I can't believe they let you leave with your son. Like, I can't believe you get to see your son. And then it was like all the light bulbs went off in my head. She was like, I have 2 jobs now and you don't have any. Like, we were in like middle school. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this girl has been like watching me since I started working at my job. She and my coworker have probably been gossiping about me, about what kind of mom I am. They've been talking about me. They have hated me from day one, and I had no idea. So then I had to readjust my expectations and say, like, sometimes God removes you from an environment because it's just not suited for you. And it really was shocking to me to hear her say those things, because I was like, I would have never known, you know, that she had all these ideas about me unless I had had that run-in with her and that interaction. And it's funny because, like, sometimes God really will protect you until you're ready to know certain things. Because, like, I'm a sensitive soul.